Hello fans of Defender Sports, hope you're enjoying the game whether you're a friend or family member of a player or coach or a fan of the university. These players and coaches have put in hours and hours of practice, and it shows. But going into each and every game, there's one more thing that every coach makes sure the team has, and that's a game plan. If these players and coaches are willing to put this much time into planning for a game, how much more important is putting together a game plan for your financial life? Now, the financial world continually becomes more complicated, but if you don't have either the time or the desire to spend hours upon hours learning and keeping up with the changing rules of the game in the financial world, and then figuring out how that applies specifically to your financial life, you don't have to do it alone. For over 40 years, we've been helping households to build their financial game plan upon all the things more important than finances, while being good stewards of the resources God has entrusted to their care. Because there's things in life more important than money, and none of them are things. I'm Tom DeYoung, financial planner and president of Money Concepts, the planning firm. Check us out on the web or social media. Check out our podcast at moneyconceptsradio.com or your favorite podcast app, or schedule a complimentary meeting to see how a financial game plan might benefit you. Enjoy the rest of the game, and remember to spend your most valuable resources, your time and your attention, on the things in life that matter more than money.
Good afternoon to you from Open Space Park in Sioux Center, Iowa. Game number 2 of our twin bill between the Dordt Defenders and the Dakota Wesleyan Tigers. The Dakota Wesleyan Tigers securing a win earlier this afternoon in game number 1, 4-3, scoring 2 runs in the bottom half of the 7th inning. As they came from behind to get the win. It was 3-1 heading into the 6th inning. They scraped together enough offense for 1 run in the 6th inning and then came through, started it all with a single. That put the pressure on the defenders, had a line drive off of the pitcher, Charlie Hennessy, and that ended up scoring the tying run and then a bases-loaded walk. Forced in the winning run, and that is how Dakota Wesleyan won their 4-3 decision in Game 1 of the doubleheader. Logan Harris will take his spot in the right-handed batter's box, lifts it high and into the air, foul ball, strike 1, 0-1 the count. On the mound for the Dakota Wesleyan Tigers, it'll be Dexter Payne. Around the infield from third to first, Seth Christensen, J.T. Kostenbauer, Drew Kitchens, and Diego Giroux is at first base. Here's the 0-1 pitch on the way. That's low and away. Ball 1, 1-1 the count. Defensively for the Tigers, I'm missing their center fielder. That is number 38, Caleb Carmichael. So Caleb Carmichael is in center field. Harris checks his swing, takes a ball. It's 2-1. Outfield left to right, Lane Darrow, Caleb Carmichael, Carter Gullickson. Behind the plate is Ryan McGinnis for the Tigers. 2-1 pitch on the way from Dexter Payne. Here it is. And that catches the outside corner of the plate. Strike 2. And the count is even at 2-2. Overcast skies here in Sioux Center today. Game time temps, we started right around 50 degrees. Wind was a little bit raw, as it typically is this time of the year. Pitches down to the dirt, ball 3, 3-2 the count. Had a few rays of sunshine when the national anthem played before game 1 at a little before 3 o'clock, and since then it has been overcast. And here's the pitch on the way from Payne. Full count pitch to Harris, misses in the dirt. See the chalk kick up. Ball 4 and the walk is issued, and Logan Harris is on with the leadoff walk. I posed the question once, rhetorically, how many times does the leadoff walk come around to score? I always thought that would be a good doctoral thesis for a stat major or a project for someone really interested in statistics. I'm sure someone has done it. Nolan Christensen lays down the bunt, and nobody's covering third. The throw to third, and Harris takes the turn at second all the way to third on the sacrifice bunt. Nolan Christensen pushed it to the third base side. Seth Christensen, that's not confusing at all, threw over to first base, but there was nobody on the corner to cover it. Logan Harris saw it immediately. He didn't slow up as he rounded second, heading for third, and the first baseman had to double clutch and had to hold up on his throw, and now the defenders with a runner at third base and 1 out. So Harris takes third on the play. Christensen, a sacrifice bunt. He's out 5-3 officially for out number 1 of the inning. And here's the pitch, swung on and fouled off out of play by Areskis. That's Drew Areskis. And the count is now even at 1-1. 1-1 the count. Having a little bit of trouble with my wireless internet here, so we will do a restart and try to get our stats for you as the game goes along. 2-1 the count with 1 down in the inning. We're in the top of the first inning. Dordt is the visitor on the scoreboard because this doubleheader was originally scheduled to be played in Mitchell's. An excuse me swing. Strike 2. 2-2 the count. 2-2 the count with 1 out in the inning. Logan DeVries chases down that foul ball. Dylan Stanley waiting in the on-deck circle. And Areskis awaiting the delivery. Here's the pitch off speed, and it's lined into right center field. Is it caught? It is, and heading for home and diving back in safely was Harris. So Harris just beats the throw home, and the right fielder, a dandy play by Carter Gullickson. I thought that had a base hit written all over it, but it hung in the air just long enough. And Carter Gullickson, if he didn't catch it, he was able to sell it enough. And Harris scampers back to the bag for out number 2 of the inning. So Araskis robbed of a base hit on that fly ball to right field for out number 2 of the inning. Brings Dylan Stanley to the plate, and the big right-hander fans through 1 strike, 1-0, and 1 the count with 2 down in the inning. Video broadcast on Dordt Media Network. Thank you to the student employees taking care of that, along with Rich Lodewijk down in the broadcast truck. Off-speed pitch, breaking ball, and Stanley swings over the top of it. That's a strike, 0-2 the count. Now Stanley, he's guessing. 0-2 the count on the way from Dexter Payne. Here it is, fastball swung on, fouled off out of play. And the count remains 0-2. 0-2 the count on the foul ball. So 0-2 the count with 2 down in the inning. Here's the pitch, outside, ball 1, 1-2 the count. So 2 down in the frame. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down. And here's the pitch, and off of the hands. First baseman unable to make the play. Throw over to first base, not in time. And that'll go as an error on the first baseman initially, where the ball went under his glove. That's a play see him make routinely. Coming in to score on the play is Logan Harris. So an unearned run comes across on the error, and Dylan Stanley. And we got to double check that. That wasn't that was the first baseman, and he misses. Flips it over to the pitcher covering, and Giroux, the first baseman, missed it initially. Kitchen behind him almost made the play. Dexter Payne hustling over, unable to get on the base and make the play in time. So Stanley awarded the RBI on the play, but it's an unearned run. Here's the pitch. Swung on, and this one's scoots foul. Third base side. Strike 1, 1-1 the count. So 1-1 the count with 2 down in the inning. Let's see if Dordt can get a little more. Dakota Wesleyan trying to get out of the inning without any more damage being done. Here's the pitch. It's inside. Ball 2, 2-1. So 2-1 the count. 2-1 the count with 2 down in the inning. Dakota Wesleyan trying to get out of the inning without any more damage being done. Here's the 2-1 pitch on the way. Outside, ball 3, 3-1 the count. So Dordt's got an unearned run across already. Logan Harris reached on a base on balls. Advanced to third on a sacrifice bunt where he picked up 2 bases. Scores on an error, and Dylan Stanley over at first base. Batting with Logan DeVries in the batter's box, looking to do some damage. This one's fouled off. And the count goes to full 3-2. 3-2 the count with 2 down in the inning. This is already the 5th batter to come to the plate. Here's the 3-2 pitch, swung on and ground ball up the middle, and that'll be through for a base hit. Stanley takes the turn at second. He's holding. Logan DeVries is on with a single up the middle, and that brings Caden Davis to the plate. Well, the defenders with some opportunities early. Game number 1, they left a couple stranded right away in the first inning. And unfortunately, I thought at the time, well, maybe he can survive it with Jungju Kim on the mound, but the defenders, turns out, could have used those runs in the latter innings. Davis swings at one, the breaking ball from the left-hander Payne. Up around his eyes, and he swings under it. Strike one, 0-1 the count to Davis. Davis is a sophomore, and he's awaiting the pitch from Payne. Stanley at second, off on contact. Pitch misses, low and away. Ball one, 1-1 the count. So 1-1 the count. Top of the first inning. Payne awaiting the on the pitch. Here's Davis waiting for the delivery. That's on the outside corner of the plate. Misses. Ball two, 2-1. Must have been low, just a little bit low. Davis. Most of the players today, many of them at least, wearing a face mask. A little bit brisk out in the outfield. Here's the 2-1 pitch down to the dirt. Ball three, 3-1 the count. So Payne working himself into a little bit of trouble. Didn't get helped by the defense in the first inning. The inning extended by a error. Now he's trying to dance his way out of trouble. Here's the pitch. Swung on and a line drive into right field. Stanley, does he have a chance? They're going to hold him at third base. And that was sharply hit enough, and Caden Davis loads the bases with a single. And the Dordt defenders looking to do some damage. They load the bases, and we're going to have a conference on the mound. We're going to talk things over. So you saw Davis worked his way into a hitter's count. Line drive in right field, but it was sharply hit. And Dylan Stanley, average speed, unable to take the turn at third. He was held up by the third base coach, Ian Eshelman, as the right fielder. Gullickson got it back in quickly. So the defenders sitting on a potential powder keg here. 2 outs, bases loaded. Here's the pitch, swung on, sharply hit right at the third baseman, and Christensen on the fielder's choice steps on the bag, and the side is retired. Jason Carrick grounds into a fielder's choice for the third out of the inning, as Logan DeVries is retired at third base unassisted for the third out of the inning. The defenders get a run on one hit, and they take advantage of an error for an unearned run. The top of the first inning comes to a close. We head to the bottom half of the first. Our score, Dordt 1, Dakota Wesleyan 0. Back with the bottom of the first inning right after this.
We understand how complex the financial landscape can be to navigate. Our goal is to free up your hands so that you can focus on what is most important in life.
Today's Dordt Media Network live stream broadcast is produced by the students of Dordt University.
Nick Yeager on the mound, completing his warm-up tosses for the Dordt defenders. Yeager this season, pretty good numbers on the mound. And the defenders need a good pitching performance today, as lost game one, hard luck fashion. Took a lead into the bottom of the seventh inning. Yeager 3-3 this season with a 2.89 earned run average, 55 strikeouts in 37 and third innings of work. Jungju Kim took the loss in game one of our doubleheader, struck out 11 in the loss in 6 innings. His earned run average actually lowered it to 4.28 with that pitching performance. He now has 68 strikeouts this season. And due up for Dakota Wesleyan will be Lane Darrow. So Lane Darrow coming to the plate. Darrell, right-handed batter. Yeager on the mound. Yeager looks in. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike one. Nothing and one the count. Yeager, right-hander. Where's number 14? And pitch is low. Ball one. 1-1 the count. 1-1 the count. And a swing and a miss. Strike two. 1-2 the count. One and two the count with nobody out. Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled back to the screen. And the count remains 1-2. 1-2 the count. The defenders, this is going to be a busy stretch for them. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Low and away. Ball two, and the count is even. The defenders were scheduled to play Dakota, Wesleyan, and Briar Cliff over the weekend. If you're in northwest Iowa or familiar with it, well, the weather not cooperating. Got some snow and had some cold weather on Saturday. Friday wasn't a good day either for outdoor baseball. 3-2 the count. And so they bumped this one to Monday. Here's the pitch. Low and in. It's in there for a called strike three. Lane Darrow caught looking on the pitch across the knees for the first out of the inning. And that'll bring Seth Christensen to the plate. So Christensen will step in. Christensen thought he was heading to first base with a free pass. Pitch is low in the dirt. That one skips off of Juan Sanchez's shin guard for a ball. 1-0 the count. The defense for Dordt, Yeager on the mound, Juan Sanchez behind the plate. Swung on, fouled off out of play. 1-1 the count. Third to first, Trevor Jackson, Jason Carrig, Logan DeVries, and Drew Oreskes. Outfield left to right, Logan Harris, Caden Davis, and Nolan Christensen. Pitch is on the outside corner. Strike two. 1-2 the count. 1-2 the count. Christensen in the first game today, 1 for 4. Knocked in a run. Struck out twice. That pitch misses outside. Ball two. 2-2 the count. Yeager, pretty high strikeout, or he's a strikeout pitcher as well. Couple of tough luck losses for him so far this season. Ground ball right side, that scoots in between DeVries and Oreskes at first. And Christensen reaches with a one-out base hit. And that will bring Diego Girard to the plate. Girard, 2 for 3 in game one, scored a couple of runs, also struck out. The Tigers getting their first win of conference play in game one today. Here's the pitch. Swung on, hit in the air right side. Nolan Christensen charging, unable to make the play as it drops in front of him. Gets it back in quickly, and back-to-back base hits for Dakota Wesleyan. So Christensen now at second. Girard is at first. And that'll bring up Dalton Wilcoxon. Wilcoxon, where's number 44? 1 for 2 with an RBI in game one. So Wilcoxon will settle in. Yeager and Sanchez taking a moment. Sanchez trying to buy his pitcher a little bit of time to get himself right. And let's see if Yeager can recover and get out of the inning without any damage being done. Got the strikeout to start the inning, but pretty sharply hit ball by Christensen, followed by a bleeder to the right side. This is an excuse-me swing. Yeager to second for one, on to first, in-time double play. And that's just what the doctor ordered. Dalton Wilcoxon grounds into a double play. That goes 1-6-3 on the scoring for out number 2 and 3 of the inning. So the defenders get out without any more damage being done. Jason Carrig at shortstop. flips it over to first in time, and the side is retired. We head to the top of the second inning. Our score, Dordt 1, Dakota Wesleyan 0. Back with the top half of the second right after this.
Today's Dordt Media Network live stream broadcast is produced by the students of Dordt University and sponsored by Sioux Center Health Therapy, partnering with Dordt University to provide quality care to all athletes. Sioux Center Health Therapy. And today's live stream broadcast brought to you by Verhoof Automotive. Verhoof Automotive in Sioux Center is your local Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevrolet, and Buick dealer. Verhoof Automotive, worth the drive from anywhere.
Due up for the defenders, Trevor Jackson, Juan Sanchez, and Logan Harris, the 8, 9, and 1 batters to face Dexter Payne. The Dordt defenders with a 1-0 lead. Here's the pitch from Payne outside. Ball 1 to Trevor Jackson. Trevor Jackson this season, not sure if he's going to show up on our overall season stats simply because there he is. He has played in 18 games. I didn't know if he was at the minimum. He is. 10 hits this season, a .233 batting average for Jackson. Here's the pitch. And that catches the outside corner of the plate. Strike 1, 2, and 1 the count. Jackson this season, couple of homers, 7 RBI. Triple and a double. He's a extra base machine out of his 10 hits. 5 of them extra bases. That's a salty slugging percentage of .465 with just a .233 batting average. 3-1 pitch on the way. Swung on, hit high in the air. That one's going to drift out of play. Jackson in game 1 today scored a run, reached on a walk. 0 for 2 officially. And here's the full count pitch, low and in the dirt. Ball 4 and the walk is issued. That's the second base on balls given up by Dexter Payne already. So that'll bring Sanchez to the plate. Sanchez, a right-handed batter. And Sanchez will step in. Juan this season, a .220 batting average, showing bunt, pulls back, takes ball 1. 1-0 the count. So Sanchez this season, he's got a homer, 11 hits total. He has caught 19 games for the defenders thus far out of 25 played. Pops this one into the air, though, and the catcher, Ryan McGinnis, strips off the mask, spins, finds it, and fields it for the first out of the inning. And that's out number 1 of the inning. Trevor Jackson holds at first base, and that brings Logan Harris to the plate. Harris, base on balls in his first at-bat. 1 out in the frame. Dordt wearing those black jerseys, black pants, yellow pinstriping, a la Vanderbilt. Similar if you follow Division I baseball. Vanderbilt made this look popular last season. 1-0 the count with 1 out in the inning. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Skips back to the backstop. Strike 1. 1-1 the count. So Harris walked and eventually scored back in the first inning. That's the only run thus far. We're in the top of the second, just underway, really. Plenty of work to do this evening. 1-1 the count with one out. Here's the pitch. And that one gets away from the catcher. Boy, if we can see a replay on that, that certainly looks like a passed ball to me unless he got crossed up. But that one was well within the frame. Yeah, that one's going to go as a passed ball in my book simply because it looked like the catcher, the ball was in the air all the way to the catcher. So Ryan McGinnis is going to take a pass ball. Tell you what, you go on the message boards for scoring. That one's a fly ball right side. That one's going to drift out of play. And you can do a deep dive on pass ball versus wild pitch, and you will get all kinds of opinions. We're going past ball that time. 2-2 pitch on the way after it's fouled off. One out in the inning. Here's the pitch. Swung on, ground ball. Third baseman Christensen looks the runner back at second. He's going to throw, and committing and getting out on the play is Logan Harris. That'll officially go as a fielder's choice with the runner retired. I believe it goes 5 to 4 to 6. Nope, 5-4-5 officially for those of you scoring at home. 2 outs in the inning. Here's the pitch. Outside, so the third baseman, Christensen, actually was able to scoot back and get into position to get the tag out. J.T. Kostenbauer, the shortstop, was actually circling around and looked like he was in position to make the play. That pitch is taken for a strike by Christensen, so 1-1 the count with 2 down. This is where Dordt did its damage in the first inning. Got a runner over on first base. So that was actually Trevor Jackson who was retired trying to advance. Beg your pardon, Harris is over at first base. So 1-2 the count with 2 down. And here's the pitch to Christensen outside, running on the pitch. Throw down to second, not in time. And Logan Harris has the stolen base. And that's pretty much baseball 101. 2 down, runner on first. Want to get him into scoring position. Get a pitch to run on. And Christensen now even in the count, 2-2. Deuces are wild with 2 down in the inning. Here's the pitch to Christensen. That's a golf shot. Shortstop stabs it. Kostenbauer over to first base in time on the fly. And Christensen is retired by Kostenbauer for the third out of the inning. 6-3 it goes for out number 3. And the defenders leave a runner stranded in scoring position. We go to the bottom of the second inning. Our score, Dordt 1, Dakota Wesleyan 0. Back with the bottom half of the second frame right after this.
Family, farm, business, community. People's Bank, where values matter.
Thank you. To the bottom half of the second inning we go. The defenders still with a 1-0 lead. Ran themselves out of the inning a little bit back in the top of the second inning. Let's see if they can compensate here. A 1-2-3, bottom half of the second would do some of that. Drew Kitchens, Carter Gullickson, and Rylan McGinnis do up for the blue and gray today. Pitch is upstairs. Ball 1, 1-0 the count. Drew Kitchens, number 22. He wears the jersey baggy. This one's on the right side, giving chase. Christensen unable to get there. That's the second bleeder we have seen today, surrendered by Nick Yeager. So a leadoff Texas leaguer to the right-hand side. And Drew Kitchens is on first base. Brings up Carter Gullickson. So Gullickson will settle in. Gullickson, a 122 batting average. See how Dakota Wesleyan plays this. Dordt thinking maybe a bunt. Third baseman playing up close to the bag, close to the grass actually. Trevor Jackson over there. First pitch taken for a ball. It's 1-0. 1-0 the count. Ryan McGinnis waits in the on-deck circle. And here's the pitch. Outside corner, strike one, 1-1 the count. So the defenders got to run across in the top half of the first. Remember, again, they are the visitor on the scoreboard. Yeager twirls and throws, not in time. And the count remains 1-1. 1-1 the count with nobody down. And here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 2, 1-2 the count. Yeager with one strikeout to his credit so far. Kostenbauer waiting in the end. Well, he's batting third if Dakota Wesleyan can get past the minimum. Yeager's throw over to first base, not in time. Carmichael would be the 9th batter in the lineup for Dakota Wesleyan. Swung on ground ball. Third baseman Jackson takes a high hop, throws over to first base in time for the first out of the inning. Took a little bit of a wicked hop off the edge of the grass there, and Jackson recovers to get the out. Might have had a chance at a double play if he fields that one cleanly. Still gets the out, though. So Gullickson, officially a fielder's choice. But he's retired. 5-3. That's if you want to get picky about things. One out in the inning, so runner on second base. So the ground ball actually advances the runner. Throw back to the pitcher, bobbled by Yeager. I believe that first pitch a strike. 0-1 the count. 0-1 the count with one out. And here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. Nothing in 2 the count with one out in the inning. So 0-2 the count with one out. There you saw the Dordt coaching staff. This one's hit in the air right side. Should be an easy play for Christensen. It is. They'll tag on the play. Throw runner will advance to third on the second out of the inning. Now, this is something I had to look up for clarification. There is no sacrifice fly given on that play. That is just a straight fly out with a runner advancing to third base. You ask why? Well, because the scorekeeper's guidelines say so. I don't understand the reasoning for it, but that is a question that came up last week, so did a little digging. And that's just ruled simply a fly out, not a sacrifice. Now, if you laid on the bunt to advance the runner, that would be a sacrifice. So there's your scoring 101 for the day. 0-2 the count to Kostenbauer. With 2 down in the inning, here's the pitch from Yeager. That one's fouled off back to the netting. Count remains 0-2. Yeager trying to get out of the inning without damage being done. Tying run over at third base, though. And Yeager into the wind. Here's the pitch. Down to the dirt. Sanchez blocks it nicely. Keeps it close. And the pitch is a ball. 1-2 the count. So 1-2 the count. You're wondering about Dexter Payne for Dakota Wesleyan. He's 1-0 this season in 14 innings pitched. He's making a second start. This one lifted in the air left field. That one's going to fall in front of a diving left fielder, Logan Harris. The single will score the run, and Dakota Wesleyan has tied it with a single. They have not hit the ball sharply, but they dropped that one in front of Logan Harris to tie it up at 1-1. Brings Caleb Carmichael to the plate with a 105 batting average this season. Harris gave it the old college try, but ends up just short on the flyout. So the single to left scores the run to tie it at 1-1. Kostenbauer will get credit for an RBI on the play as well. And now Dakota Wesleyan with a runner at first base. Yeager throws over to first base. Snap tag, not in time. So far for Dakota Wesleyan, 1 run, 4 hits. Dordt, 1 run, 2 hits. And here's the 1-0 pitch. That's in for a called strike 1 the count. 1-1 the count with 2 down in the inning. Right-handed batter Carmichael. Throw over to first, not in time. Carmichael batting $105. 105 for Carmichael so far this season. And the pitch is in for a called strike. So Carmichael scored a run back in the first game. Reached on a base on balls in that game after going 0 for 2 at the plate. 1-2 the count. Yeager trying to get out of the inning. 1-2 pitch on the way. Swung on and fought it off foul. First base side. And the count remains 1-2. 1-2 the count. Carmichael, 4 base hits this season. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and Yeager gets his second strikeout of the ball game, but not before Dakota Wesleyan ties the game with a run on a couple of hits. And they strand a base runner. We've played 2 complete. Our score, Dakota Wesleyan 1, Dordt Defenders 1. Due up for the defenders, Oreskes, Stanley, and DeVries. 3, 4, 5 hitters when we're back right after this.
Today's Dordt Media Network live stream broadcast is produced by the students of Dordt University.
And brought to you by Pizza Ranch, buffet, carry out, or delivery.
And brought to you by Furniture Mart. Find furniture, mattresses, flooring, paint, window treatments at your local Furniture Mart, family owned and located downtown Sioux Center.
Drew Oreskes to lead things off for the defenders. Oreskes flew out to right in his first at-bat. Oreskes, he with a .342 batting average this season. Lifts this one high in the air. Left fielder Lane Darrow under it. Pitches a tent, camping out, makes the play. For the first out of the inning, brings Dylan Stanley to the plate. Stanley put the ball in play back in the first inning, reached on an error, got credit for an RBI. And for Stanley, that's his 22nd RBI, leading the team in that category. Also has a .333 batting average, sharply hit, but right at the third baseman, Seth Christensen, over to first base in time. And Stanley retired 5-3 for the second out of the inning. 2 pitches, 2 outs. If you're Dexter Payne, that's exactly what you want. Payne so far today gave up an unearned run in the first inning. And now 2 outs in the top of the third. Due up is Logan DeVries. DeVries, right-hander. He reached and then eventually was retired unassisted for the third out of the inning on a fielder's choice. Checks his swing, foul ball, strike one, 1-1 the count with 2 down in the inning. Well, we never got that sunshine that some people promised for today. Temps in the upper to mid 40s, mid to upper 40s, I guess. The better wording on that. That's taken for a strike to Logan DeVries. 1-2 the count. So DeVries so far 1 for 1 today. That one just misses outside, ball 2. So 2-2 the count with 2 down in the inning. We're in the top of the third, 1-1 our score. And Dexter Payne working into his third inning of work. Payne this season, 2.57 earned run average, 1-0 in 4 appearances, 2 starts. This is his second start. 7 strikeouts in those 14 innings. Left-hander misses outside. Ball 4 and the walk is issued. So DeVries reaches for the second time in game number 2 of this doubleheader. Brings Caden Davis to the plate. Davis left-handed batter will settle in. He reached back in the first inning. Had a single and laces this one into right center field. That'll drop in for a base hit. And taking the turn and holding at second base is Logan DeVries. So Davis and DeVries putting some pressure on here with 2 down in the inning. First 2 batters were retired without incident. Now Jason Carrig will come to the plate. Carrig, a .326 batting average. And a chance to do some damage here, the left-handed batter. Here's the pitch to Carrig. Bounces away from the catcher, Ryan McGinnis, momentarily. Carrig this season, freshman campaign, 6 doubles, 11 RBI, a home run. Chance to do some damage here with runners on first and second and 2 down. Top of the third inning, Dordt and Dakota Wesleyan deadlocked at 1-1. Here's the pitch. That's low, ball 2, 2-0 the count. I'm curious how long Payne will go. Simply because he hasn't had a lot of work so far this season. Maybe that is by design. 2-0 pitch. Swung on, and that one's fouled off behind the plate. And the count goes to 2-1. Top of the third inning. This game started, about 5:40-ish? So, got a nice start to this one. We're scheduled to play 7 innings. And here's the 1-1 pitch. Swung on, and that's a soft line drive into right center field. That'll drop in for a base hit. Circling is Gullickson. Gullickson throw over to third, not in time. And the defenders. Jason Carrig delivers an RBI single. advances over to second on the throw. Caden Davis all the way to third on the play. And Logan DeVries scores on the play, so Carrig picks up the RBI. Carrig this season now 12 RBI. Brings Trevor Jackson to the plate. Jackson walked in his last at-bat. Base hit here, likely scores 2. Runners will be leaving on contact. Good speed at second base with Carrig. Caden Davis just 90 feet away, so he doesn't have to be as speedy on a base hit. Well, the flag pretty well hanging limp in mid and center field, right behind the 380 marker. Pitches in for a called strike. It's 1-1. So Payne looks in, and here's the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball misses upstairs. Ball 2, 2-1 the count. Sanchez waiting in the on-deck circle for the defenders. Tigers trailing 2-1. They played from behind the entire first game as well, though. Didn't deter them. Here's the pitch. Swung on, fouled off, out of play. And it's 2-2. Trevor Jackson, we talked about him in his first at-bat, a .233 batting average. Pitch misses up high. And the count is full, 3-2. So Payne's scuffling a bit here. Trying to get out of the inning and not doing himself any favors. Here's the full count pitch. That's low and in the dirt. Ball 4, and the walk is issued. So Jackson works for the 2-out walk. So that puts runners on every bag. So no room anymore. Juan Sanchez popped out to the catcher trying to bunt back in the second inning. Batting here with 2 down, he'll be swinging away. Takes strike 1, 0-1 the count. So Payne goes after Sanchez immediately. Logan Harris waiting in the on-deck circle. 310 down the lines here at Open Space Park. 380 to dead center. Here's the pitch. Swung on, breaking ball, fouled off. Strike 2, 0-2 the count. And Sanchez got his weight out on the front foot that time. Had to battle and hang back and foul it off. Love to turn the order over here. That would mean Sanchez reaches. And here's the 0-2 pitch on the way with 2 down. Up high, ball 1, 1-2 the count. Well, this inning began innocently enough. Looked like Payne was going to just cruise right through the top of the third. 2 pitches, 2 outs, but since then has run into some trouble. Difficulty continuing as he misses upstairs. Ball 2, 2-2 the count. Well, Caden Davis doing his part to raise his batting average today. He's came in at batting .224 as I take a look at the season stats. That was after the game 1 factored in. Sanchez fouls that one off, out of play. Count remains 2-2. Davis already a couple of base hits. He's over on third base. Jason Carrig is at second. Trevor Jackson is at first base. 2-2 pitch on the way with 2 down. Swung on, ground ball, seeing eye ground ball, makes it through between short and third. Taking the turn at third, headed for home is Carrig, and 2 runs score on the play as Sanchez delivers the RBI, the 2 RBI single. And we'll have a pinch runner now, well, actually a courtesy runner, but it's scored just as if it were a pinch runner with 21 coming in for the defenders. And I know the number doesn't do you any good. It'll be Ben Baker. So Baker will run. Sanchez will get a chance to put the catcher's gear back on. It's part of the reason they allow that courtesy runner, is to help speed the game along and also give those catchers just a little bit of a break. That's an NAI rule, not an NCAA rule. You also see that in high schools. And that's the second mound visit. And coming to the plate is Logan Harris. So the defenders with 3 across here in the third inning. And the pitch is low and in the dirt. Ball 1, 1-0 the count. I want to verify with our scorekeeper. That's the third run of this inning. Is that correct? So the score should be 4-1 for those of you watching online. We'll get that corrected here shortly. So 4-1 our score. Here's the pitch, and sharply hit. That's off of the third baseman. Gets away from him, and that'll be scored as a base hit. We'll score that a base hit for Logan Harris. Sharply hit, and the third baseman knocks it down. Probably see the replay of that. Get a little spoiled expecting that, and here we go. That helps our scorekeepers out as well. Yep, that'll go. Would have been a great play if he makes it. And probably about 50% of the time he does, but now we're going to have a pitching change. I believe that's going to be it for Dexter Payne. So Dexter Payne is relieved. He'll leave with the bases full. Nolan Christensen coming to the plate. So we have a pitching change, and we'll get the numbers on that new pitcher in just a moment. And waiting to see if we can determine what number he is wearing. It's amazing how they hide those numbers when 6. Looks like they got it on the left sleeve as well. Saw that earlier. I didn't know if that was in memory of someone or if that's actually their number, and it looks like, yep, the catcher's got 13 on his sleeve as too. That's a nice feature. Dakota Wesleyan. So the new pitcher for the Tigers will be number 6, Preston Riddle. So Preston Riddle inherits a mess. About the only positive of this for him is that there are 2 outs in the inning. The bad news, if you're Preston Riddle, is bases are loaded. Riddle this season 1-1, 8 appearances, 1 game started, 15 innings of work. 9 walks, 11 strikeouts, and a 9.00 earned run average. So the bases are loaded for the defenders. They lead 4-1. And Logan Harris is at first. Juan Sanchez is at second. Trevor Jackson is at third. Nolan Christensen is your batter. So Nolan will come to the plate. And I said Juan Sanchez is at second. He is not. That is the courtesy runner, Baker. So 2 down in the inning. And here's the pitch. Gets away from the catcher. Running home and scoring on the wild pitch will be Trevor Jackson. Everybody else advances. Baker's at third. Harris is at second. And that's a wild pitch, and you'll score that just as Runner from third advances on the play. He scores on the wild pitch. The other two simply advance. Makes it 5-1 Defenders here in Game 2 of the doubleheader, top of the third inning. And here's the pitch. Low and away, catches the outside corner of the plate. Strike one, 1-1 the count. Well, you see the flag, that's hanging straight down, but then you look down and you see some of the debris, the leaves that have gathered along the fence, left over from last fall. They're swirling around back there, so there is some wind. Swing and a miss, strike two, 1-2 the count to Nolan Christensen. We're in the top of the third inning, Dordt leading 5-1, so Nick Yeager with a cushion to work with. 1-2 pitch on the way with 2 down. Gets away from the catcher again. The runner will try to score, and scoring on the play is Baker. And another wild pitch. So Baker scores on the play, and Harris, who started the sequence over on first base, is now on third, and the count is even at 2-2. Two and two the count with 2 down in the inning. 6-1 our score. Dordt with 5 runs across here in the top half of the third. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball misses outside. Ball 3, and the count is full. 3-2. Drew Areskis will be batting next if the inning is extended. And the full count pitch on the way. Misses up high and away. Ball 4 and the walk is issued, and Preston Riddle struggling here early on. Couple of wild pitches, a base on balls. And unfortunately for Dexter Payne, those runs will go against his total. Riddle inherited the bases full, and the last runner, that is Payne's responsibility, is over at third base. So 2 down in the inning. And here's the pitch to Areskis. Misses up high. Ball 1, 1-0 the count. This inning has taken a little while. Christensen gets his lead at first. Let's see if he's moving possibly. Get into scoring position. He is. Everybody holds. And Christensen reaches second base with a steal. So now you got a couple of runners in scoring position again, and the Defenders looking to expand on their 6-1 lead. Harris is at third, Christensen at second. Here's the pitch. Low and in the dirt. Ball 3. 3-0. An inauspicious start for Preston Riddle to this inning. Couple of wild pitches, a base on balls, and now he's worked himself into a 3-0 count with Areskis. And he walks Areskis. Not sure how long Riddle will last at this rate. Cannot see the Dakota Wesleyan dugout, or pardon me, I can't see the bullpen over on the first base side. Dylan Stanley batting now with the bases full. Here's the pitch from Riddle. Breaking ball in there for a called strike 1. 0-1 the count to Stanley. Stanley, a .333 batting average this season, the junior from Florida. And so Stanley, where's number 4? He's from Orlando. Here's the pitch. Swung on, moonshot up in the air behind second base. Second baseman Kitchens calling for it, and Stanley is retired for the third out of the inning. So Stanley commits the second and third out of the frame. He's retired on the pop out to the second baseman for the third out. But the Defenders send 10 to the plate. They score 5 and they leave 3. Our score, Dordt 6, Dakota Wesleyan 1. Back with the home half of the third inning right after this.
Here we live between big city and small town, but we don't do anything halfway. We play in a community that's safe for families while providing our kids big city opportunities. We work in a place proud of its rural history that's already writing its future in science and technology. This is a place where we love our neighbors and where a small town is more like a big family. Sioux Center, live life in the middle of everything.
Six-one our score. We go to the bottom half of the third inning, so Nick Yeager with some cushion to work with. See if he can take advantage of that here. Dordt leading 6-1. Plating 5 in that inning. Darrow, Christensen, Giroux at the due up for Dakota Wesleyan. And here's the 1-1 pitch, breaking ball, and that one swung on and missed, strike 2. 1-2 the count. Nice breaking ball that time by Yeager as he spins that one across. 1-2 pitch, here it is. Comes back with a fastball, misses, up and away. Ball 1. Pardon me, ball 2, 2-2 the count. 2-2 the count. Darrow, a .313 batting average, follows this one back to the screen. I noted earlier this is a busy stretch for the Defender baseball team, scheduled to play today versus Dakota Wesleyan, scheduled to go to Briarcliff tomorrow at 1 o'clock, scheduled to go to Concordia this weekend, Friday and Saturday. That looks promising to get those games in. The weather looks good. And then turn around. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. And Yeager has his third strikeout of the inning. Of the game, his first of the inning. Brings up Seth Christensen. Christensen a .297 batting average. Next Tuesday, the Defenders schedule to host Morningside. So 10 games in what? 8 days? By the time all is said and done. It will stretch the Defender pitching staff. Swung on, ground ball, right side. DeVries up with it. The second baseman over to first base. Areskis on the receiving end of that. And Christensen retired without incident. 4-3 for the second out of the inning. And that'll bring up Diego Giroux. Well, this is where Dakota Wesleyan got in trouble in the top half of the third inning. Dexter Payne got the first 2 outs, no problem. 2 pitches, 2 outs, and then disaster. Had some walks, couple of base hits, relief pitcher, wild pitches, and when it was all said and done, the Defenders had plated 5 runs after having the bases empty and 2 down in the inning. Here we are, 2 outs and the bases empty for the Defenders in this inning. Pitches down to the dirt. Sanchez can't hang on to it. Ball 2, 2-0 the count. Right-handed batter is Giroux. Giroux, I have him reaching back in the first inning. That one catches the outside corner of the plate. Strike 1, 2-1 the count. Well, it looks like the outside corner is there. 2-1 pitch on the way. Breaking ball fouled off at the plate. Strike 2, 2-2. Giroux 1 for 1 here in game 2 of the Twin Bill. Darrow has struck out twice now. Leadoff batter for the Tigers. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and a soft line drive at a right field. And the Dakota Wesleyan Tigers have not hit it sharply, but they have found the open space. And Diego Giroux is on with a 2-out single, and that'll bring Dalton Wilcoxon to the plate. Wilcoxon 0 for 1. Well, this is where if you're the defenders, you got to find a way to get off the field. Two down in the frame. Here's the pitch to Wilcoxon. DeVries scoops it up on a softly hit grounder, and DeVries over to Orescas. And Wilcoxon is retired 4-3 for the third out of the inning. So the Tigers are retired. No runs, a hit, no errors, one left. We go to the top of the fourth inning. Our score, Dordt 6, Dakota Wesleyan 1. Back with the top half of the fourth right after this timeout.
This Dordt Media Network student-produced live stream broadcast is brought to you by Joyner and Zwart Dentistry in Orange City, offering dentures, implants, and dental care for your whole family in a modern and friendly atmosphere.
And sponsored by Sioux Center Health Therapy, partnering with Dordt University to provide quality care to all athletes. Sioux Center Health Therapy.
So Logan DeVries comes to the plate here in the fourth inning. Defenders leading 6-1, and Preston Riddle will work into his second inning of work. And DeVries, line shot, third base side, foul ball, strike one, 0-1 the count. We'll check in if there are any scores from the Great Plains Athletic Conference that are in at this point. The Defenders dropped game one today, final 4-3. Swung on, ground ball, foul, strike two, 0-2 the count. So 0-2 the count. Yesterday was a busy day for conference teams. Several got doubleheaders in on April the 2nd. Here on April 3, and that one hits the batter, and they rule that he didn't get out of the way. And so that'll go as a strikeout looking. Coach Nathan Bacon out of the dugout. And simply ruled that Logan DeVries did not make ordinary effort to get out of the way. And that's ruled a strike. And so that'll be the first strikeout of the game for Preston Riddle. So one out in the inning, and the base is empty for Caden Davis. I don't know that I've ever seen that called with two strikes on a batter. Pitch misses inside, ball one, 1-0 the count. On conference play today, Northwestern defeats Concordia 5-2 in the opener. Concordia comes back to win the nightcap 10-1. Mount Marty beat Morningside 5-4 earlier today. A little bit of a surprise there. Swing and a miss by Davis. Strike one, 1-1 the count. Mount Marty and Morningside currently in the second game, as is Dordt and Dakota Wesleyan. Dakota Wesleyan won game 1 today, 4-3. 1-1 pitch on the way with one out to Davis. He's 2 for 2 already today. Pitch misses inside, ball 2, 2-1 the count. Well, Coach Nathan Bacon came out, voiced his displeasure about that call against Logan DeVries. So 2-1 the count with one out. Here's the pitch. That's in for a called strike. It's 2-2 to Caden Davis. Two and two the count with one out in the inning. And here's the pitch to Davis. Davis checks his swing. And the count goes to full 3-2. 3-2 the count with one out in the inning. And here is Preston Riddle. Into the wind. And the pitch. Swung on, ground ball, foul ball. And that one's going to go all the way into the right field corner. And Riddle gets this motion signal to pitch. One out in the inning. Bases are empty. We're in the top of the fourth. 6-1 our score. Pitch misses. Ball 4 in the walk is issued, and Caden Davis reaches for the third time here in game 2 of the Twin Bill. He's walked. So Caden Davis Davis takes his lead over at first base. Davis from State Center, Iowa. First pitch is a strike to Jason Carrig. Carrig is your shortstop. He's settled into that role. He's from Irvine, California. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Misses inside. Ball 1, 1-1 the count. Carrig in game number 1, 1 for 3 at the plate. And Carrig takes the ball. It's 2-1. So Carrig today here in game 2, he's 1 for 2 with a run scored and a run batted in. Here's the 2-1 pitch on the way. Swung on, hit in the air, left center field, giving chase. The center fielder making the play on the run is Caleb Carmichael. Backhands it deep in the alley, and Carrig is retired on the fly out to center field for the second out of the inning. That one hung up in the air just long enough for the center fielder Carmichael to run to it. Otherwise, that one's into the gap for extra bases. Brings Trevor Jackson to the plate. Jackson reached on a walk in the third inning, later scored. He's walked twice already. And here's the pitch to Jackson. Takes a ball. It's 1-0. 1-0 with 2 down here in the bottom half of the fourth inning. And here's the pitch. Swung on, and that one's fouled off. Might have caught a piece of Jackson in the right-handed batter's box. Oddly enough, I think that one might have caught his back foot. Shakes that off. It's 1-1 the count with 2 down in the inning. And the runner, Davis, breaking for second, and he is out on the play. So Davis commits to running and is thrown out at second base for the third out of the frame. 6-1 our score. The Dordt defenders, Davis Just barely thrown out at second base, but thrown out nonetheless. We go to the top of the bottom of the fourth inning. Dordt leading Dakota Wesleyan 6-1. Back with more from Open Space Park right after this.
When you add up all the Wi-Fi connected devices in your home these days, you'll be surprised at how many there are and how much bandwidth they're using. Do the math. It just may add up to needing faster Wi-Fi. Premier Communications has you covered with reliable internet speeds up to 1 gig. Keep everything connected with Premier Communications. Visit us online at mypremieronline.com or call at 1-800-741-8351. Premier Communications. Looking ahead.
Six-one our score, and the Dordt defenders with the advantage. To the bottom of the fourth inning we go. The defenders will see Drew Kitchens. Kitchens hits this one in the air, soft fly ball, medium depth. Making the play is Nolan Christensen, and Kitchens has retired for the first out of the inning. Brings Carter Gullickson to the plate. So Gullickson will come to the plate here with the bases empty and 1 out. And if you're Nick Yeager, you just want to simply keep cruising. 1 out in the inning. Stay away from the threats and keep playing with that 5-run cushion. Things feel pretty good, but that can all change quickly. We saw how quickly it changed for Dakota Wesleyan in the third inning. Here's the pitch, swung on and missed, strike 1, 1-1 the count. When Dordt plated 5 runs with 2 outs in the third inning. The defenders with a 6-1 lead. Here's the 1-1 pitch, low and away, ball 2, 2-1. Gullickson, a 122 batting average. Moved the runner up on a fielder's choice back in the second inning, and that runner, Kitchens, eventually scored on the play. Well, Dakota Wesleyan, you win that first one and you feel like you're playing with house money. Came in hoping for, my guess is you come in hoping for a split, and you get that, and this one's softly hit into right field, gunning for you just in front of Nolan Christensen. And Wesleyan has not really barreled it up against Nick Yeager, but they do have 6 hits to show for it. 6 runs on 6 hits for the defenders, 1 run on 6 hits for Dakota Wesleyan. Defenders have been able to spread it around a little bit. Yeager into the wind. Here's the pitch. In there for a called strike. 0-1 the count. Yeager from Canton, Michigan. Here's the pitch. In there for a called strike. 0-2 the count with 1 out in the inning. Well, the defenders earlier today got a double play ball to get out of an inning. Let's see if they can get one here. 0-2 the count with 1 out. Here's the pitch. In there for a called strike 3, and Ryan McGinnis is retired. Caught looking. I have that as the 4th strikeout of the day for Nick Yeager out number 2. He's gotten a strikeout in each of the 4 innings today. So swung on, ground ball towards the second baseman, DeVries. Up with it, throws over to first base in time. And Kostenbauer is retired, 4-3 for the third out of the inning. So Dordt able to sidestep trouble that time. Yeager with a strikeout, and then coaxes Kostenbauer in to a ground out. And we head to the 5th inning. Our score still Dordt 6, Dakota Wesleyan 1. Back with the top half of the 5th inning right after this.
American State Bank is celebrating our 50th anniversary, and we couldn't have made it this far without your support. For us, banking just scratches the surface. We pride ourselves in our commitment to our communities, building meaningful relationships with our customers, and doing our best to have some fun along the way. We're proud to be a locally owned and operated bank, supporting the communities we serve. Thank you for choosing American State Bank. We can't wait to see what the next 50 years have in store.
Landon Waddle is on to pitch in relief. His 7th appearance, now his 8th appearance. He has 9 1/3 innings of work, 12.54 earned run average, 11 strikeouts in those 9 1/3. Lanky right-hander. And doesn't look like overpowering stuff in his warm-ups, but enough of a different, little bit of a unique delivery, unique motion. And Coach Nathan Bacon out still talking to the home plate umpire about that. I'm guessing still talking about that hit batsman that ended up striking out back in the 4th inning. So Trevor Jackson will come to the plate, right-handed batter. Here's the pitch. Swung on and backhanded by Giroux over at first base off the short hop, and Jackson retired for the first out of the inning, unassisted by the first baseman. Brings up Juan Sanchez. And Juan Sanchez will come to the plate. He is 1 for 2 today with a couple RBI. And Jackson that time, that's the first time he's been retired today. He walked twice. Hits that one sharply, but right at the first baseman. Pitch is up high, ball 1, 1-0 the count. Sanchez, a single back in the 3rd inning. That was part of that 2-out uprising. That one's in for a called strike. It's 1-1. Well, those of you watching on the Dordt Media Network, don't be fooled by the gentleman in the front row of the bleachers sitting in shorts. It is not that warm. 2-1 the count with 1 down in the inning. And here's the pitch. Misses, low and away. Ball 3, 3-1. 3-1 the count. Every once in a while you see Dordt softball assistant coach Jordan Eshelman standing near the dugout, all bundled up. I think that gives a little more accurate feeling to what the weather feels like right now. Swung on, hit in the air, out of play. And the count goes full at 3-2 with 1 out in the inning. We're in the top of the 5th. Dordt leading 6-1. And as this game goes along, you hate to play the ifs and buts game, but oh, that first game getting away from the defenders, that one hurts right now. Otherwise, you're sitting on a sweep and you're heading into Briar Cliff feeling really good about things. Obviously some work to do yet here in game number 2, but Dordt positioning themselves nicely. Game number 1 got away, leading 3-1 heading into the 6th inning. Gave up a run to go up 3-2, and then unable to hold the lead. Pitch is up high, ball 4, and the walk is issued, and we're going to see Ben Baker running for Juan Sanchez as soon as Juan gets over to first base. And it's all a matter of taking care of what you have to. Sanchez has to touch first base. The walk is issued, and for the defenders so far in this game, that is the 8th base on balls issued. So they have taken advantage of Dakota Wesleyan having a hard time finding the strike zone consistently. Ball skips away from the catcher. That's going to go as a wild pitch, and Baker advances over to second base on the play. 1-0 the count with 1 out. This game right at an hour and 25 minutes old right now. We're in the top of the 5th. Dakota Wesleyan, the home team on the scoreboard. So right now they've got 9 outs to work with. 1 out in the inning. Dordt leading 6-1. Here's the pitch. Nearly gets away from the catcher. McGinnis is again. He has to slide to his right to backhand that. So 6-1 our score. 2-0 the count. And here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 1, 2-1. Two and one with 1 out in the inning. Runner on second base is Baker. Harris is batting. Harris so far today 1 for 2 with a run scored and a base on balls. And that pitch is in for a called strike. It's 2-2. Two and two the count with 1 out in the inning. Harris came into the game with a .278 batting average. With 1 out in the inning. Our next broadcast for baseball will be next week if everything plays out according to plan. Here's the pitch. We'll have softball tomorrow from the ASB Dome. Count goes full 3-2. That'll be a 5 o'clock start time for that doubleheader of softball. Defenders taking on Mount Marty. It's been a while since Dordt's played. I believe March 25, about a week and a half ago. Here's the pitch. Swung on, fouled back to the screen. And the count remains full at 3-2. Things get hopping, though, after this weekend for the softball team. Basically have, after this week, 3 weeks of the regular season remaining, and they've got to play some conference doubleheaders. Got to play more than a few of them. And end with a lot of games on the road, actually. Here's the full count pitch, fouled off again by Harris. He hangs in there. So Harris, he's from Harrington Park, Australia. And here's the full count pitch with 1 down. And he got around on that one, fouls it off. Got the arms extended, jumped on it, but rips it out of play. Baker at second base. And here's the pitch, low and away, ball 4, and the walk is issued. So the base on balls issued by Landon Waddle. So Christensen will come to the plate here with the runners at first and second and 1 out. So 1 out in the inning. Dordt leading 6-1, looking for more here. Christensen. For 1 officially. So runners on first and second. Baker is at second. Trevor Jackson started the game with a line out, 1 hopper to the first baseman. 1-0 the count to Christensen. Pitches up high, ball 2, 2-0. Christensen entered the day batting .310. Walked back in the 3rd inning. Had a sacrifice bunt in the 1st. And grounded out to second for his lone official at bat. That one catches the outside corner. Strike 1, 2-1 the count. The defenders have worked for 9 walks here in game 2. 1 strikeout so far. 2-1 the count. Here's the pitch on the way from Waddle. Softly hit, fly ball, right side. Right fielder unable to make the play on the run. That gets away from him, as he has a long ways to run, and we'll rule that a single. Christensen reaches. And I know you watching at home, that one's up for debate, but I'm going to go single right now. Long way to run, ball slicing away from him. I usually err on the side of the batter, I'm not going to lie. So the defenders now with the bases loaded and Drew Oreskes batting. He's 0 for 2, base on balls, he's due. .342 batting average, hits this one in the air, left side, that one's going to drift out of play. 0-1 the count with 1 out. I'd be curious if you put a clock on the defenders offensively, their halves of the innings, as opposed to Dakota Wesleyan's. Seems like Dordt has really stretched out a couple of frames. Put some threats together. Pitch is outside corner, strike 2, 0-2 the count. So 0-2 the count. With 1 out of the inning. And Oreskes awaiting the delivery. Runner on third is Baker. That one misses outside. Ball 1, 1-2 the count. Waddle nibbling at the edges. So 1-2 the count with 1 out of the inning. Waddle looks in. Checks the runners. From the stretch, here's the pitch. And that misses. Everybody stays put. It's 2-2. 2-2 the count with 1 out. And I know for those of you wondering about the run rule situation in college baseball, 10-run rule, only in 9-inning games. This one's scheduled to go 7, so we will go the full 7. No matter the final. And here's the pitch to Oreskes, up high and tight, ball 3. Waddle has thrown a lot of pitches here in this frame. Came on in relief. Right now, the pitcher of record is Dexter Payne. He's right now saddled with the loss unless his team can get him off the hook. Right now, not looking likely with the way this has gone. Oreskes hammers this one foul and out of play, and the count remains 3-2. Oreskes wearing number 17. He's from Kansas City, Missouri. And here's the pitch. Up high and the walk is issued. Bases loaded walk, and Dakota Wesleyan really struggling right now. That is the 9th walk issued to the defenders today, and that brings Dylan Stanley to the plate. Let's see if the junior from Orlando can come through. He's due. Had an RBI in the first inning. That came on an error, though. So Drew Stanley steps in. Pitches low and away. Ball 1, 1-0 the count. And I was wrong. That is walk number 10 issued by Dakota Wesleyan thus far. 1-0 the count with 1 out. And here's the pitch. On the outside corner, strike 1, 1-1 the count to Stanley. Well, Dylan Stanley, not gotten himself many good pitches to look at. Hasn't been worked his way into a hitter's count. Here's the pitch. Misses down low, ball 2, 2-1. That's a little more favorable. 2-1 pitch on the way for Stanley. Dylan also does some work with the Dordt Media Network, does some announcing for us during the off season. Here's the pitch, up high and tight, ball 3, 3-1. So 3-1 the count with the bases loaded for Dylan Stanley. 7-1 our score, and we're going to have a conference on the mound. Landon Waddle. Looked like Waddle was ready to hand the ball over. But Wesleyan's they won't have a pitching change here. I was trying to figure out, the Tigers have uniform, that color scheme that I was trying to figure out what team it reminds me of. Thinking old school Chicago White Sox. The grays. The blue, if it is blue on the numbers, is dark enough that it almost looks black. And obviously it might color. The lighting might be playing with the color a little bit, but here's the 3-1 pitch. Low and away, ball 4, and the walk is issued. The run will score, and Dylan Stanley will get an RBI. That is the 11th walk given up by Dakota Wesleyan pitchers here in Game 2. Logan Harris scores. Christensen moves up to third. Oreskes is at second. Stanley is at first, and the defenders lead at 8-1. So with 1 out in the inning, and here's the pitch, up high and away, ball 1, 1-0 the count to Logan DeVries. We're in the top of the 5th inning. Dordt in control. And here's the pitch, swung on, hit in the air, left field, curling towards the foul line, and it's a foul ball. And Logan DeVries could see that right off the bat. He pretty half-hearted trot down to first base. So 1-1 the count to DeVries. DeVries today, a walk and a run scored. 1 for 2 officially. Here's the pitch, swung on and missed, strike 2, 1-2 the count. One and two the count with 1 out. And into the wind, here's the pitch. Well, that's outside and low, ball 2, 2-2. 11 walks, 11 free passes issued the defenders here in Game 2. 7 hits. Swung on ground ball. That's past a diving third baseman, and that's going to score at least 2 runs. One run is in with Christensen. Oreskes takes the turn at third. He's headed home as well. And that's a single for Logan DeVries as he knocks it past the diving third baseman. And the defenders now with a commanding 10-1 lead here in the top half of the fifth inning brings Caden Davis to the plate. Caden Davis was caught stealing in the fourth inning. That seems like a long time ago already. And we're going to have a pitching change. Dakota Wesleyan, they're going to have another mound visit. That's going to be it for Landon Waddle. Tough outing for Waddle. For Waddle, he's going to officially have a third of an inning pitched. He'll be charged with 4 earned runs. He walked 4. He allowed 2 hits, faced 7 batters. And we will have a relief pitcher, number 9. And we're going to see Brady Christoffels. Christoffels caught in game 1. So Christoffels is on in relief. And for Christoffels, his numbers so far. This is his second appearance. He's got 2 innings pitched. Well, the Tigers, a thin pitching staff. They played a doubleheader yesterday, and they had to go to their bullpen late in game 2 of the doubleheader yesterday with Midland. They were right in the thick of it, and then the bullpen allowed, I believe, 7 runs in the 6th inning. So Dordt with a 10-1 lead. Caden Davis coming to the plate. So DeVries delivers 2 RBI on the play. So 4 runs across already for the defenders in this one. And I was double checking. Yes, that's Dylan Stanley over at second base. On the top of the 5th. 1 out in the inning. And Christoffels, the right-hander. And here's the pitch. Up high and tight, ball 1, 1-0 the count. Well, I'm sure Dakota Wesleyan, you look at it back in hindsight, I didn't think Dexter Payne was struggling that much. But maybe he was on a pitch count. Got to think about the weekend as well, about what you've got coming up. But their bullpen has really struggled here. Wild pitch gets away from the catcher. All the way back to the backstop, and it's 2-0. Dakota Wesleyan has not helped themselves when you factor in the walks and wild pitches. Walks are just like singles, obviously. It's like an extra 11 singles, and it just puts so much pressure on your pitching staff and your defense. And now Dakota Wesleyan will play in, trailing 10-1. Caden Davis, something that's not right out of fielder, is going to get through. Davis takes a strike. It's 2-1. Davis went to West Marshall High School. 2-1 pitch on the way to Caden Davis. Davis, 224 batting average coming into the day. He's helped himself, though, here in game 2. That pitch is in there for a called strike. It's 2-2. Davis 0 for 2 in game 1 today, but here in game 2, 2 of 3 with a couple of RBI. Ball 3, and the count goes full. Seems like every batter has gone to a full count in this inning as well. Lots of pitches thrown by the Tigers. Here's the pitch, swung on and missed. Strike 3, and Davis swings over the top of that one. Strikeout number 1 for Christoffels. That'll bring Jason Carrig to the plate. In case you're wondering, Payne went 2 2/3. He went through 78 pitches, so he was up there. Riddle, an inning and a third, 25 pitches thrown. Waddle, a third of an inning, got 1 out. He threw 38 pitches. Christoffels gets an out. It's Carrig at the plate now. Carrig swinging a miss, strike 1, 0-1 the count. Well, the lights have been on for about the entire doubleheader, the entire second game of the doubleheader here today. Christoffels from the stretch, pitch misses outside, ball 1, 1-1 the count. Field's in pretty good condition considering what it looked like a couple of weeks ago, even a week ago. Fair amount of snow cover and really a lot of mud. Nice work by the Parks crew to get things in playable condition today. Just need the rain to come now in the evenings. Come when it's dark outside and get sunshine during the day and we can play some home baseball games. 2-1 the count with 2 down, swung on and fouled off and out of play. Strike 2, 2-2. Grass actually greened up a little bit. I think they power raked it, and that stirred things up. A little bit of snow. Get that nitrogen level up and you see the green pop. 2-2 pitch on the way. Swung on, hit in the air, left side. That one's going to drift out of play again. 10-1, Dordt leading. Defenders in the driver's seat. Nick Yeager has sat for a long time. See if the right-hander can get loose in the bottom half of the 5th inning. And this one sliced down the third baseline. Foul off of the bat of the left-handed batter. And the count is even at 2-2. Carrig is the 9th batter to come to the plate for the defenders. A daunting schedule ahead for the defenders, not only in terms of opponents, but in terms of the number of games played in a short period of time. Pitches in there for a called strike 3. Looked like a changeup, and Carrig caught looking for the 3rd out of the inning. But the defenders played up 4 more. The defenders go up 10-1. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning. We'll be back with more from Open Space Park right after this timeout.
This Dordt Media Network student-produced live stream broadcast is brought to you by Joyner and Zwart Dentistry in Orange City, offering dentures, implants, and dental care for your whole family in a modern and friendly atmosphere.
And brought to you by Pizza Ranch, buffet, carry out, or delivery.
Today's Dordt Media Network live stream broadcast is produced by the students of Dordt University.
The defenders leading 10-1. Yeager has been in command. Caleb Carmichael, Lane Darrow, Seth Christensen due up for the Tigers. Carmichael will come up. This is just his 2nd at bat, as Yeager, through 4 innings, has faced 17 batters. And here's the pitch. Offering at it. Carmichael trying to bunt his way on, fouls it off. Strike one, 0-1 the count with nobody out. Bottom of the fifth inning, Dordt leading 10-1. Dakota Wesleyan is the home team. Yeager, pitch up high, ball 1-1 the count. So Yeager on the mound, Sanchez behind the plate, third to first, Jackson, Carrick, DeVries, and Oreskes. Here's the pitch. Misses inside, ball 2, 2-1. Left to right in the outfield for Dordt, Harris, Davis, and Christensen. Here's the pitch, misses inside, ball 3. Three and one the count. So far today, Yeager has 4 strikeouts, 1 in each inning. He's spaced them out. No one has, well, pardon me, Darrow, the leadoff batter, has struck out twice, actually. Carmichael, count is full, and he's caught looking. Strike 3. Strikeout number 5. Out number 1 of the inning. And that'll bring Darrow to the plate. Darrow 0 for 2 thus far with a couple of strikeouts in this inning. Yeager has thrown 62 pitches in 4 1/3 innings. And Coach Nathan Bacon out of the dugout. Talk things over with his right-hander. So Darrow will come to the plate with the bases empty. Boy, it takes so much of the pressure off when you get that leadoff batter retired. So far in this game, Dordt has done that in 4 out of the 5 innings. Oddly, or not so oddly, the 1 run Wesleyan scored came in the second inning when their leadoff batter, Drew Kitchens, reached with a single and eventually scored. 2-0 the count as that pitch is low in the dirt. Ball 2. This one a fly ball, right side, Oreskes in foul territory, makes the play. And Darrow is retired for out number 2 of the inning. And that will bring Seth Christensen to the plate here in the bottom half of the 5th. So 2 down in the inning. Christensen a single and a ground out. Yeager has been able to scatter 6 hits. He's kept Wesleyan away from the big inning, though. That one's softly hit right side, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. And that has been the theme in this one as Christensen, 7th base hit for the Tigers as a team, his 2nd in 3 plate appearances. And that'll bring Diego Giroux to the plate. And Giroux waits the delivery, pitches low, ball 1, 1-0 the count. So 1-0 the count with 2 down in the inning. One and 0 the count with 2 down in the inning. Here's the pitch on the way to Giroux, and Yeager might have overthrown on that one. Ball 2, 2-0. He has worked from behind to a few batters today, has Nick Yeager. So 2-0 the count. Here's the pitch. Swung on, ground ball, right side. DeVries up with it. checks it, throws over to first base in time, and Giroux is retired 4-3 for the third out of the inning. Dakota Wesleyan gets a base runner. They get a 2-out single, but they leave him stranded. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. To the top of the 6th we go, Dordt leading 10-1. Back with more in a moment.
Today's Dordt Media Network live stream broadcast is produced by the students of Dordt University.
And today's broadcast sponsored by Ployne Publishing. Quality printing from design to delivery.
Trevor Jackson comes to the plate. Jackson led off the 5th inning. Eventually, he scored in the 3rd. This is his 4th plate appearance. Facing Christoffels, this one's lined in the air to right center field, and that'll drop in for a base hit. So Trevor Jackson with a base hit. His first single of the day. Of the game 2, I should say. That will bring Juan Sanchez to the plate. So Sanchez will step in, right-handed batter. And here's the pitch outside. Ball 1, 1-0 the count. Ball gets away momentarily from the pitcher, but everybody stays put. So 1-0 the count with nobody out. And Sanchez with a base hit down the third base line. He's going to take the turn at second, he's headed for second. The base runner in front of him, Jackson, takes the turn at second. He advances over to third on the play, so a double for Sanchez, and that'll bring Logan Harris to the plate. Well, the defenders with the 9-run cushion here. We've got a courtesy runner, that's Baker. So Baker is in to run. And Harris takes a strike, 0-1 the count. Yeager has thrown 69 pitches through 5 innings. By comparison, Wesleyan starting pitcher Dexter Payne threw 78 through 2 2/3. Yeager able to pound the strike zone when the defenders have been in the field. Our game approaching 2 hours old. We're in the top of the 6th inning. And here's the pitch to Harris, up high and away, ball 1, 1-2 the count. Christoffels throwing it out there to see if Harris would go after one well out of the strike zone. He did not. So 1-2 the count. Healthy lead for Baker over at second base. Wesleyan defense playing in, and that's strikeout looking. Logan Harris caught looking at the off-speed pitch, so Christoffels with his third strikeout of the game. First out of the inning. That brings up Nolan Christensen with a couple of runners in scoring position. There you see Trevor Jackson over at third base. Pitch is down in the dirt. Ball 1 to Christensen. Game 2. 1 for 2 with a base on balls and a stolen base to his credit. 1-0 pitch on the way to the junior from Omaha. That's in for a called strike. It's 1-1. Well, the Dordt Defender baseball schedule, they go to Briar Cliff, who's a deceiving 0-8 in the conference right now, but they've played some of the teams in the upper half of the league and played them close, so that is not a doubleheader you can overlook by any stretch. And then it's out of the frying pan and into the fire. 4 games against Concordia this weekend, picked to be among the league leaders. And then to add to it, you got Morningside a week from tomorrow here in Sioux Center. 1-2 the count. Here's the pitch up high. Ball 2, 2-2. And from there, things don't get any easier. You've still got, Doane on the schedule. Done with Hastings. Got to play Mount Marty. That's always a challenging set of games. And then we wrap it up with Northwestern way on the tail end of the year here in Sioux Center. 3-2 the count with 1 out of the inning. Christensen awaits the delivery. Nolan. 3-2 pitch on the way, and Christensen caught looking for strikeout number 4 for Christoffels. Well, I'm guessing the quandary Dakota Wesleyan has is Christoffels is a pretty good catcher as well. So how much do you use him as a pitcher? As catchers, the legs, obviously 2 positions where really the legs are so important. Now, if maybe McGinnis can catch a little more and Christoffels is a pitcher, maybe we're seeing an anomaly here. Fly ball, left side, and Oreskes is retired on the pop-out to medium depth left field for the 3rd out of the inning. And the Dakota Wesleyan Tigers retire the Dordt Defenders. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left. Dordt had a single and a double to lead off the inning, but came away empty. 10-1 our score remains. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Back with more in a moment.
Today's broadcast is sponsored by Northside Body Shop. When you expect the very best in the repair of your vehicle, call Northside Body Shop Limited today. Serving the Sioux Center area since 1955. 712-722-2313.
Today's Dordt Media Network live stream broadcast is produced by the students of Dordt University.
Ten to 1 our score, and we have a pitching change for the Defenders. We'll get that to you in just a moment. Also, we've got some finals in across the league. And I think everybody is now final except for this one. Marty and Morningside have completed their play. Matthew Ramstead is on to pitch for the Defenders. And Ramstead this season is a right-hander. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss as Wilcoxon swings through that one. So Ramstead this year, 5th appearance, 10 innings pitched. Six strikeouts. So Ramstead, 10 innings pitched, 6K. 1-2 the count to Wilcoxon. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And Ramstead gets the first out of the inning with a strikeout. So that is strikeout number 1 for Ramstead. Out number 1 of the inning brings up Drew Kitchens. Kitchens today 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored back in the second inning. Kitchens will settle in. So 1 out. Here's the pitch from Ramstead's in there for a called strike 1. 0-1 the count. Swung on, ground ball. Ramstead down off of the mound, up with it, flips it over to first base in time. So Ramstead loses his hat in the process, gets it over to Oreskes for the second out of the inning. So Ramstead, that one goes 1-3 for the second out of the inning, brings up Carter Gullickson. And 2 outs in the inning, so Dordt trying to get out of this without incident. Ramstead's pitch is in for a called strike to Carter Gullickson. Gullickson has reached twice today. Once on a fielder's choice, the other, I think he had a base hit. Here's the pitch. Swung on, ground ball, foul. And we can close the book as well on Dordt's starting pitcher, Nick Yeager. Yeager went 5 innings, allowed 7 hits, 1 run, struck out 5 and walked none. 0-2 the count. And did he go around? He did not. Ball 1, 1-2 the count. Well, high school baseball coach who I got to know pretty well in the area. Had a very successful baseball team at the now defunct Spalding High School. He said, basically, that's not a big secret. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Sanchez sends it over to first base in time. And Gullickson is retired swinging for the second strikeout of the game for Ramstead, out number 3 of the inning. What he said in essence was this: if you throw strikes, if your pitchers throw strikes, your defense makes the plays that they should in the field, don't commit any errors, you're going to win 60 to 70% of your games just simply by doing what you should do. Pretty good recipe for the Defenders so far today in this one. 10-1 they lead it. We go to the top of the 7th inning. The Dordt Defenders will send to the plate in the top half of the 7th. Stanley, DeVries, and Davis. 4, 5, 6 hitters due up when we're back right after this. So Dylan Stanley will step in here with the bases empty, leading off the inning. And Stanley fouls that one back to the netting. And the count is even at 1-1. 1-1 the count with nobody out. Top of the 7th inning, so the defenders with a 10-1 lead, and it feels like we're just playing out the string here at this point. And that pitch is in for a called strike 2, 1-2 the count. So 1-2 the count. With nobody out in the inning, here's the pitch up high to Stanley. So 2-2 pitch on the way to Dylan Stanley. Brady Christoffels pitching, and Stanley reaches around, rips that one into left field, but that fielded by Lane Darrow. Stanley with one of the harder hit balls of the day, but a line out to left for the first out of the inning, and that will bring up Logan DeVries. DeVries today 2 for 3 with a couple of RBI here in game number 2. It's this one high in the air, foul territory. And making the play is McGinnis. Oh, McGinnis thought he had it. Ends up dropping it in foul territory. So 0-1 the count. Not a routine play by any means, as he had to run over near the on-deck circle by the Dordt dugout. And in the process, had to try and make the play. Ended up diving, but had it in his glove for a moment, and it popped out. And quite honestly, that catcher's glove not made for field and pop flies easily, especially on the run. 1-1 the count with 1 out. Here's the pitch. In there for a called strike 2. And the count is 1-2 with 1 out. Strike zone getting a little bit bigger here in the latter innings, especially after Dordt put those 4 up in the 5th inning. This one's fouled off, and the count remains 1-2 with 1 out in the frame. And this one fouled back to the screen, and the count remains 1-2 with 1 out. 1 out in the inning. Waiting in the on-deck circle is Caden Davis. So DeVries, who entered play today, batting around .280. And that one just misses outside and high, ball to 2-2. Well, I am hopeful that when we play our next doubleheader here in Sioux Center a week from tomorrow, temps are about 10 degrees warmer or so. Upper 50s feels a lot different than upper 40s. McGinnis back near the backstop, makes the play this time, and DeVries is retired. On the pop out to the catcher in foul territory for out number 2 of the inning. Brings up Caden Davis. Got to be honest, after the next couple of days, though, things really start to trend the right way. At least right now it looks that way on our forecast. We'll get into the 60s and 70s yet. 2 down in the inning, Caden Davis. Here's the pitch. Ball 1, 1-0 the count. Could be worse. Could be up in North Dakota trying to play baseball games. I hear Jamestown's going to get another 8 to 12 inches of snow tonight and tomorrow. They are probably going to end up playing that 2 twin bills here in Sioux Center in a couple of weeks. scheduled for Friday and Saturday, I believe the 14th and 15th, and looking more and more likely like that home site is going to get flipped. Here's the 2-0 pitch. In for a called strike to Davis. Strike one, 2-1 the count. Nothing official yet, just my conjecture of having watched how things work. You can fight it off only so long. Here's the 2-1 pitch, and Davis lashes that one through the hole between short and third for his second base hit of the game. Beg your pardon, his third. He's 3 for 4. Brings Jason Carrig to the plate. 2 down in the inning. Carrig caught looking in his last at-bat. Jason here in the game, 1 for 4 with an RBI. Well, only 2 players have multi-runs scored in this doubleheader. They are Logan Harrison, Ben Baker running for the catcher, Juan Sanchez. Pitches inside, ball 2, 2-0. Defenders have put it in play pretty well today as well. 5 strikeouts, 3 of them coming recently. So 2 outs in the inning. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss by Carrig. Strike 1, 2-1. They're going to get started tomorrow at Briarcliff at about 1 o'clock. Be able to watch that one online. We'll have softball at the Dome tomorrow evening, 5 o'clock. Actually going to have a couple of games in the Dome. Here's the pitch outside, ball 3, 3-1. Northwestern and I believe Briarcliff going to play a couple of games tomorrow. Also starting at 5 o'clock. ASB Sports Complex has become a home away from home for the Northwestern softball team as well. They've played their fair share of games in the Dome this season. Pitch is fouled off, and count remains 3-2. Well, it'd be a lot of fun if both of those teams could win a few leading into their clash in Orange City on the softball side of things. Here's the pitch up high, and the walk is issued to Jason Carrig. And that's the 12th walk surrendered by Dakota Wesleyan today. And that'll bring Trevor Jackson to the plate. The defenders so far in this one, 10 runs, 11 hits, 12 walks as well. Jackson takes the ball. It's 1-0. For Dakota Wesleyan, 1 run on 7 hits with an error. That error seems like a long time ago. Factored into the first run of the game for the defenders. Pitch is in for a called strike 1. 1-1 the count to Jackson. Jackson's the number 8 hitter. This is the 5th time he is coming to the plate in this 7-inning contest. Pitch is up high, ball 2, 2-1. Well, there are 2 players who don't have a base hit to their credit in the Dordt lineup here in Game 2. This one's hit softly off of the hands. Shortstop, Kostenbauer, up with it, throws over to second base in time. And Jackson retired on the fielder's choice. Carrig actually retired 6-4 at second base for the 3rd out of the inning. And the Dakota Wesleyan Tigers get out of the frame without allowing Dordt a run. Matthew Ramstad is on to try and complete his 2-inning outing with a 10-run cushion to work with. Let's take a break, and we'll be back with the bottom half of the 7th right after this timeout. So we have a pinch hitter coming up for Dakota Wesleyan. This will be number 26, Augustine Sanchez. So Sanchez on to face Matthew Ramstead. And kicking into the wind, here's Ramstead. Swing and a miss, strike one, 0-1 the count. Well, we've got the scorecard saying Sanchez. We've got the stat program saying Myers. I'm looking what number Myers would be. Number 11, Caleb Myers. Could be. Oh. Pitch is outside. Ball 1-1-2 the count. Well, we'll go with what they've got in the stat program. I am trusting that my colleague Brant McCall at Dakota Wesleyan, Mitchell, South Dakota, has that correct in the Presto stat program. If he doesn't, we'll get it corrected after the game. 1-2 the count. Swung on and nub foul. And actually didn't make contact with it. Juan Sanchez up with it. Throws over to first base in time. Ramstead has his third strikeout. Officially, that's a strikeout and then retired 2-3. And that'll bring up Kostenbauer. So one out in the innings. Juan Sanchez charged with the mound visit. So one out in the inning. Here's the pitch from Ramstead. This one's fouled off and out of play. Strike one. 0-1 the count. So one out in the inning. Actually, not a bad day for baseball today. Wind was chilly. Curious down on the playing surface what the players would say. They're willing to put up with a lot, though, to get games in. 1-1 pitch on the way. Misses up high and away. Ball 2, 2-1. Well, the defenders, it certainly looks like they are poised for a split of this doubleheader. And we already talked about the disappointment of losing game one, but the good thing is this one's hit into the alley, and that's going to be extra bases for Kostenbauer. Kostenbauer is in standing up with a double. And that is the first base hit given up by Ramstead. And that'll bring Caleb Carmichael to the plate. Carmichael, number 38. Outfield playing very shallow. Logan Harris and Caden Davis had to run that one down in the alley. So one out in the inning, and the batter is Carmichael. Carmichael 0 for 2. Breaking ball by Ramstead. Strike one, 0-1 the count. So Ramstead has gone an inning and a third. This one's fielded deep in the hole by Carrick. Rifle over to first base. Got him. Do they call him safe? I thought he got him by a half step. We're going to get a look at the replay here. Slow motion. Carrick with a gun from deep in the hole. Threw over to first. Yeah. Watching the replay, I'd have to freeze it to look, but I thought Jason Carey got the out. Watching it in real time. And now the batter is hit. So Lane Darrow reaches after being hit by a pitch. So everybody, the bases are full now as Ramstead will try to get out of the inning. So 10-1 our score. And Coach Nathan Bacon out of the dugout to talk things over with his pitcher and catcher. So 1 out in the inning. Double play here ends it. That's me, though, ever the optimist. But we can hope the defenders can close it out here in short fashion. Here's the pitch from Ramstead. Swing and a miss, strike one, 0-1 the count. And quite honestly, Ramstead gave up the double. That was a sharply hit ball. Grounder to short, could have just as well been an out. He's done. And that hit batsman, obviously a mistake you'd like to have back. But all in all, not a bad outing thus far. But now you got to work yourself out of a jam with the bases loaded. 0-2 the count as Seth Christensen fouls that one off. When this one is over, we'll wrap it up pretty quickly. Swung on, hit in the air, left field. Charging is the left fielder Harris, and the runner at third will hold. So Christensen retired on the flyout to left field for the second out of the inning. And that'll bring Diego Giroux to the plate. And the runner at third. Pretty half-hearted fake over at third. And Harris lofted it into the infield. So 2 down in the inning. And here's the pitch. Pitch gets away from the catcher, and that's going to be a wild pitch as that skips in front of the plate. Run comes in to score. So Kostenbauer scores on the wild pitch. Everybody else advances 90 feet. It's 10-2. Feels like it's all academic at this point, but you got to finish it out. Here's the pitch. Down low, ball 2, 2-0. 2-0 the count. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That's in for a called strike. It's 2-1. 2-1 the count with 2 down in the inning. And here's the pitch. That misses. Low and away, ball 3, 3-1. Mount Marty and Morningside ended up splitting their games today. And the walk is issued. That one just misses. And that'll bring Wilcoxon to the plate. So Dalton Wilcoxon comes to the plate in the Mount Marty Morningside doubleheader. Mount Marty a 5-4 winner, and Morningside a 3-2 winner. So the conference standings through play today all but complete. Need to factor this one in. And then today's action will be finished. Morningside and Concordia right now atop the league at 7-3 each. Mount Marty and Doane and Midland all 8-4. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swung on and a line drive in the left field. That'll drop in for a base hit. 1 run is in. Bases are still loaded. It's 10-3. 10-3 our score. So Giroux delivers a single. Darrow advances. Carmichael scores. And Dakota Wesleyan right now, that was Will Coxon with the single. 10-3 our score. And Kitchens trying to extend the inning. Dakota Wesleyan playing station-to-station baseball right now. Dordt just trying to close it out and get out of the game. Finish this one off, and that should do it. Fly ball, left side, Carrig, the shortstop, calling for it. He's under it, makes the grab, and Kitchens is retired on the pop out to the shortstop for the third out of the inning. The Dordt defenders win it by a final of 10-3. That's coupled with the first game, which went Dakota Wesleyan's way by a final of 4-3. Other GPAC scores today: Morningside 3, Mount Marty 2, Northwestern 5, Concordia 2, Mount Marty 5, Morningside 4 in Game 2, and Concordia 10-1 winner over Northwestern also in Game 2 of their doubleheader. The final line here today for the defenders: 10 runs, 11 hits, no errors. Dakota Wesleyan 3-10-1. The winning pitcher is Nick Yeager. He went 5 innings, allowed 1 run on 7 hits. Matthew Ramstead on in relief. He allowed 2 runs on 3 hits and struck out 3. Yeager also had 5 strikeouts. Dordt was aided today by 12 bases on balls issued by Dakota Wesleyan. That will do it for our broadcast. We'll be back on the air tomorrow night. Dordt versus Mount Marty. Softball doubleheader from the Dome. That'll get underway at 5 o'clock. Good evening.